And we are live for Rather Boy. You know what time it is. Got line with me. Horatio Major will join us in a brief moment. But on this episode, are the Lakers going to Walmart? Are they, are they,
Woo.
are
They
the Heat?
shopping for something. They all shopping for something. I don't know what they shopping for, but they shopping for something.
Are Miami Heat going to Walmart for Boston? That game's going on right now. And we're going to the Florida Panthers. Shot going to talk about the Florida Panthers. He's a new hockey fan now, so we're going to talk to him about some hockey when he gets here. And you already know. You already know.
What time is it? It's game time, baby. Hit that button.
All right, here we go.
Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Boys, yeah. Hold on. We them boys. Hold on. We them boys.
Yeah.
All the TV and television history, best theme music. I don't know. There's some great ones out there. Maybe first take before Stephen A. got rid of Max, but that's neither here nor there. We're on Sundays and Wednesdays. Programming note: this Wednesday we might be starting a little late. I got something. We'll see. Might start at 9:30 on Wednesday, but we'll let you know. Crazy straws. You crazy, and you got some straws. It's a crazy straw. Any kind of straw, just like crazy on. Jefferman. Ryan doesn't need it because he's full-fledged great, so he's good to go. If anything, he did keep it immaculate. That's the SAT word, immaculate. Beautiful, perfect, imperfection, awesome. We all aspire to have Ryan's beard. We all aspire to have. Me, I'm just trying to make sure I keep a beard, keep my hairline straight. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that life yet.
You ain't ready for this one here?
I ain't ready for it. I ain't ready for it. I ain't ready. I'm not quite ready for it. Not quite ready for it. Dax waving room. He's some waves. Like Atwater, he got waving room. He uses a brush on the head. You look at top of his head, he got waves on. But don't tell him I said it. Don't tell him I said that. Arizona tea. Been $1 since 1991.
Ooh.
And there was a student in my school that drank Arizona tea. I told him, you know you're going to have diabetes 20 minutes after drinking that tea. You got to cut that whole thing with water. You got to use 1 part Arizona tea, 2 parts water just to get it all down.
So tell them where it's located, though, Faye. Tell them where it's located.
In his store that sells food. Aldi, Family Dollar, Dollar Tree.
So at Walgreens, where is it located, though, Faye?
On aisle 8. On aisle 8 in the refrigerator section.
Right next to the pharmacy.
Right next to the pharmacy. I'm saying by the pharmacy. I told you the other day, I sent them a picture. I was at Walgreens picking up a prescription. Like, hey, man, we ain't lying. The Arizona tea still $1. And it's right by the pharmacy. In between the photo booth.
Right by the pharmacy.
Right by the pharmacy and next in between the photo booth. So you get your meds, pick up some pictures, get some diabetes. Hey. Prescriptions, photo, pharmacy. Triple P. Anatole, come on the show, Anatole. They're gonna get that room, dog. But LeBron will get 1. No, they ain't getting 1. They need shooting. They still need to shoot it. We'll talk about that later.
Yep.
YouTube and Facebook, follow us. For Rather Boys. Of course, on Facebook, YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. Tell 5 friends to follow us on YouTube. We good. Of course, buynightshirt.com and our Ingram. You know all the details with him. Daniel's new show, Chopping It Up. He has started taping it. He sounds big time. I wish I had his money and his budget to do his show.
Well,
I'm trying to get we proud of him. I just wish we want to get on the show with him so we can literally chop it up. And of course, Henny, Crown Royal XO, Ginger Ale and Coke.
The Dark Liquors.
It's brought to you by every package store in America. Ryan, what it do?
Man, beautiful Sunday, beautiful day in the neighborhood, sir. Just enjoying this Sunday, man. Just trying to recruit from the week so I can get ready for next week. It's a re-energizing day. So
Yeah, got 1 more week with students, and then I still got 30 days of work. So
mm,
I get ready for the national school council conference. Got to present there in August. So I'm trying to do my little hustles of music. Oh, by the way, if you have weddings or you have any type of gig, hit me up. As long as it's somewhere in Georgia, I do gigs. Play sax, just in case.
just FYI, you will be doing my wedding. So when I get remarried, you will be doing mine. And that's on everything. If you hadn't checked him out on Facebook or Instagram, please,
Yep.
please, those covers are off the chain, as we said. So, hey, you need somebody that's going to do a great job. This is your man right here. This is your man right here.
I appreciate it. Sound like mystical right there. Man, right here. All right, let's get the day started, man. We bullshitted long enough. Corey, what is up? That's a guy that went 4 battles and played sax also. Corey, let me hold song. Need to buy a tenor saxophone. Let me hold song. Buy a tenor sax. All right. So my cousin Anatole is a Lakers fan. I grew up a Lakers fan, but I'm also a realist. I also, I ain't gonna shoot y'all those shit. In the group chat, I said the Lakers should have never broke up their team from 2020.
Right.
How many games that the Lakers going to lose in? What I say?
You said it.
I said 5.
I didn't know I thought they would at least won last night, and they not far away.
They're not far away. They just can't stop Jamal Murray. If they would have stopped Jamal Murray, slowed him down in the first half, they could have won the game. But they would have
won the game. Yeah, because he went off for 30 in the first half last night, and man, that was, I don't care who you are. If you got one player going off for 30, I mean, nobody else really did anything. That's what carried them. That's what pretty much carried them. That momentum and late baskets late. That's what carried them.
Yeah. The Lakers were down by 3 at the half. The Lakers were up by 1 in the fourth quarter with about 8:30 to go. And then the Nuggets just turned on another level.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the Lakers, because that's the Lakers in a nutshell. I'm thinking, what other adjustment Darvin Ham has? It's not an adjustment. It's just shot making. The Lakers are playing great defense. It's just shot making.
This is, we spoke last week, Fabe, about how the seedings, they don't matter. This is looking like the seedings matter. You got a 1 and a 7. Even though they beat the 2 seed, the Lakers beat the 2 seed and it came up, but this looks like the far and away what it's supposed to be. Like when we rank college football, your number 1 team is usually head and shoulders above everybody else, and that they'll be there at the end usually. This looks like the same thing. If it's not Murray, it's Jokic doing his thing, and they don't have an answer. It's almost like they cannot answer the bell. It's almost like last night they played one of their best games of the playoffs, and it still wasn't good enough.
Which goes back to shot making. They made all the trades, but the trade they should have made 2 years ago. I'm gonna harp back on this. They could have got Buddy Hield and Miles Turner.
Yep.
For Russell Westbrook. Matter of fact, they could have got Buddy Hield and another player for KCP and Kyle Kuzma. They could have gotten, and they look stupid now because KCP looked like he would get a second ring.
Yeah.
And KCP not really doing that much in this series. He's a defensive stopper, but I think this is just shot making. Jamal Murray, a lot of folks have forgot about him when he tore his knee up at the end of the 21-22 season. When he tore his knee right before the playoffs, he was out all of last year. And then he's gradually getting back. And folks don't realize this is a bad man right here.
That is a bad man. Shouts out to KCP, Greenville, Georgia native, Greenville High graduate. Greenville, he well represents that area down there. Man, That's crazy though. You know, he's finna get his second. Murray's finally rounded into form because those knee injuries, when you play in, well, no matter what sport you're playing, those knee injuries, it takes a while for you to come back. And if he's back, Lord be with him. Lord be with them Lakers.
Lord, I mean, odds be ever in their favor because
Yeah.
I don't think there's another adjustment that Darvin Ham could do because the defense on Jokic has been solid. Like I said, it's been shot making, and where they're moving the ball and making the Lakers adjust and trying to read and recover. They're recovering late. They were like, I think the Nuggets hit 3 threes back to back off of swinging the ball after getting an offensive rebound, which killed the Lakers. And I think this is going to sound crazy. Anatole's probably going to say something. If Jamon is on here, Jamon, we need you on here because we need your basketball coach, two-time champion, state champion basketball coach. Two times. That's, it's hard to do it once. He did it twice. But there's a couple things I would do if I'm the Lakers. Corey, if you're still out there, Anatole, let me know if I'm crazy. I would bench D'Angelo Russell. He's giving you 21 points in 3 games combined.
Yeah, he had a good series against in the last.
Not really. He was inconsistent in that one too.
I just, I mean, toward the end of the season, he played well. He hadn't really showed up in the playoffs. This is just one of those things, I guess. You thought it was a good trade. It actually probably the trade that got you into the where you are to be in the playoffs, because you had, you really got rid of somebody that was kind of dominating the ball and Russell Westbrook that wanted to dominate the ball rather. But now, I mean, this is the time you've got to show up. This is your second stint with this team, man. You got to show up. Man, I mean, you got LeBron, AD, and some unsung heroes. You've got to, man, everybody got to come and help support this thing, man. This is going to be crazy. We talked last week about how we gave our predictions, and at the end of the show, I said that the Nuggets were going to win, but then we talked about it, and I changed my mind because I was like, okay, with the TV rating, they don't care about no TV ratings. Jokic is out there doing work, and Murray say, here's your TV ratings right here, buddy. Here's your TV ratings.
Yep. Of course, they're the best. The Denver's they've been playing with extreme confidence, especially they had a little dip near the end of the season. They had a real small chance of catching Milwaukee for the over number 1 seed. They're probably, the way it's looking, they're gonna have home court advantage. And that altitude is something serious. Anybody that's never been to Denver, I've never been to Denver, or Mexico City, because they sit a mile high, and the breathing is different. If you got a sickle cell trait, do not go. Don't go. If you got a sickle cell trait, don't even go. Or try to play in the sports, you're gonna lose spleens and gallbladders. Don't. Ryan Clark said it best on First Take the other day. Molly said something stupid. I don't usually say that about Molly, but she said something stupid, and Ryan said, I almost died in Denver, right? So I don't know what you're talking about. Kind of died. So I almost died. But anybody say something stupid, Stephen A., I usually, I clown his ass every chance I get. Hey, Stephen, let me go on First Take so I clown you on TV. But the Lakers are going to make some major adjustment. I think the Lakers will get one, because I think this is the Nuggets are in a position to go to the final for the first time in their team history. Yeah, I think they'll get one, but they're gonna get blown out in Game 5. But they haven't been blown out. It's just teams they pulled away. They've been close in every game. They've been close, and D'Angelo Russell needs to be benched. I think you got to start Mo Bamba, or you got to start Tristan Thompson. Start some size at the beginning of the game. I mean,
you gotta give. I would think you have to. I don't know what Darvin Ham has got, but I think you gotta have more. You gotta give Jokic some more looks, run some more bodies at him. I don't know if that's gonna slow him down. That's gonna tick him off. I don't know, make him go off. But I mean, you've tried everything else. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, Mo Bamba, he hasn't played a minute in these playoffs, and I thought he'd have been an asset, as a big guy that could shoot the three and play D. I would have thought we'd see more of him in this series, or even in the playoffs. But that's the one move I'm shocked at. Malik Beasley, I would have thought he would have got a little bit of burn, but I think Lonnie Walker took away his burn because Malik Beasley he's a hit and miss shooter, and he's been missing the last month, 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see that. I just want to say this to Rob Pelinka: do not sign out Kyrie Irving. Do not sign him. Do not.
Lord have mercy. No.
Do not sign. I don't care. Even if it is with LeBron, do not sign Kyrie. Do not. You do not. Now, if anything, you trade for Derek White or Malcolm Brogdon, but you do not sign Kyrie Irving. But that's coming to something. We'll talk about that. But do you see the Lakers winning on Sunday?
I can see him win. I can see him winning one.
Monday,
yeah. Was it Monday or Tuesday? I'm not sure.
I think it's Monday. Every other day now. So
okay, yeah. So I could see him. I could actually see him winning one, but I don't see him. They won't win the series. The next game they'll win. It's win or go home. Denver wants to probably win in front of their home fans. They'll probably take a day off. They won't play as hard. They're probably tired. It's a lot of things that go into that fifth game, especially when you're up 3-0. So, we'll see. I really think that the Lakers should win this one. They should.
Yeah, there's another move somewhere, but like I said, the defense has been solid. It's just shot making. It's been shot making, which the Lakers haven't been doing. LeBron, Stephen A. Smith told you to stay off the three. Stephen A. Smith, you need to get on the hair club for men. Okay. Now. All right. Now.
Every time you have a chance.
Anytime you have a chance. Anytime you have a chance. Shot, I thought he was going to be on there. I could have swore he said he was going to be on there unless I misread it. He said, I'll be in the house tonight. At least he must be talking about.
I hope it did. He go to the game? They not in South Beach tonight, are they?
Yeah, I think they are because they first two games with Carolina. So he
well, if that's the case, then he might be in that building.
That's what I'm thinking. He talked about. He said, "Here, let me look at. I'll be in the building tonight. Heat Nation. Oh, the Heat playing tonight. That's where he at. Heat game. He's at the Heat game. Hockey, they probably play tomorrow night. But Heat culture, they won both games on the road. In Boston. Grant Williams runs his gums, and Jimmy goes off. But the Heat are not up 2-0 without Max Strus, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson. And I thought Duncan Robinson, I thought they put him in a crowd stasis. He's been so bad on defense all year. He was unplayable after signing him to the $96 million contract. What has the Heat done to it, Boston on the heels? And by the way, this is a must win for me for Miami tonight. They got to win this game tonight.
I mean, it's pretty much just Jimmy Butler and them. We talked about this with Shot. It's Jimmy Butler. Pretty much, if you really want to do it, it's Jimmy Butler, Eric Spoelstra, and you got Bam Adebayo, maybe a little bit of Kyle Lowry sprinkled in there, but that's all you got, and this is the scrappiest team, this is the scrappiest team. They really believe in the old team thing where we're going to win and lose together. Let's just trust the process, win and lose together. And that's what's going on. That's why it's what it is, And in the meantime, on the Boston side, these guys, they want that championship too. They want to be not just the Eastern Conference champions. They want to be world champs because they felt like they didn't get it last year. So, or get a chance at it. So it's different, but this is a competitive series. I thought it would be competitive, and it's competitive enough.
I mean, they won't say about the Celtics. They miss Ime Udoka right about now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that much. You rushed the judgment on Joe Mazzulla. You should have left him as the interim, and then brought back Ime Udoka.
Yeah, I think the thing with that, I think they thought that the media, the media has a way of making things worse than what they really are. Like I said last week, within that 24-hour news cycle, it's always something going on. It's just one of those things where it was a rush to judgment because of the way that the organization had been portrayed in the media, and they didn't want that lingering. And plus, when he got off to the hot start and they were winning, oh, why are we paying him then? Why are we paying him if we can get the same results from somebody we could pay a little less to?
I don't know, but I mean, we talked about this early in the year when all this broke, and we still don't know the whole story, but we know that he had an affair with an executive vice president of operations in Boston. He slept with that man's wife, which is a Caucasian woman, which is another thing. If it was any other coach, they would have been quiet and kept it moving. Like Steve Phillips, they would just say he fired. Then he had the option to come out and say, I'm dealing with it, but you made a full blown thing. And then the way it was reported, there were about 4 black women that were a part of the higher up executives in Boston, and their names were thrown in the mud and under the bus, and they had nothing to do with this because of the ineptitude of Boston trying to get a hold of this. And you should have just fired him at the beginning of the year. That way, Joe Mazzulla would have been more freer. But I think he's been free all year.
Yeah,
I just think next year he'll be more freer if he doesn't go to the finals. He'll be more freer as an unemployed.
That's true. I can see that. I can definitely see that. But I mean, you see the rocket ship going up, and this is you see it about to take off, and it starts to lift off, and you just jump on, and that's what the organization did. It was like, okay, looks like we got us. If we gonna do this in the interim, yeah, just MA, we'll holler at you.
Jamal, I wish Jamal would hop on because he brought up a great question. Brought up a great question with Boston. You got to make some decisions in the offseason. Malcolm Brogdon won 6th Man of the Year. Marcus Smart won Defensive Player of the Year when it really should have been Embiid last year, but it's neither here or there. Embiid wind himself to an MVP, and then you wet the bed the last 2 games of the season. Anyway, they're not here. We ain't talk about them until next year. And you got Derek White. You got 3 guards that does the same thing.
Somebody going. Somebody leaving. Somebody got to go. Somebody's got to go. I think, be honest with you, I mean, whoever's got the name right now, I mean, I guess is Malcolm Brogdon would be the name out there that would be enticing to teams. Derek White, he's on that next tier of, if Malcolm Brogdon be first, Derek White will be second. They, like you said, they do the same thing. They shoot the basketball and shoot it well. If somebody decide to go off, and get them, I mean, those are 2 viable options, for any team. That is, I mean, if that's what they decide to do. But I mean, you talking about two good players, man, and some cap room, and they got some decisions to make, like you said, and if that's what's going to happen, then that's what's going to happen. There's really nothing they can do. I mean, unless you're going to end up like Milwaukee, that's what you want to do.
I bet Milwaukee is feeling sick right now that they let go of Malcolm Brogdon. Or they traded him. Right now, the Heat are up 61-44.
Oh my goodness! Here we go.
Shot, if you watching the show, Shot, go live right quick. Go hop on the show. But that's. I mean, we ain't got the Jaylen Brown yet. We ain't even talked about Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown probably the better of the two. Jason Tatum has been a little hot and cold, and they both showed hot and cold last year.
Well, they terrible tonight. Both of them are not playing well tonight. Okay. Well, Tatum almost has a double-double in the first half, 9 points, 10 rebounds. Jaylen Brown right now, 10 points, 5 boards, 0 assists. Let's see who else is doing well. That's like they're the only two. The only one in double figures is Brown. And as far as the Heat goes, Jimmy Butler has 9. Bam Adebayo has 7. Jimmy Butler looks like he gonna be the player tonight because he has 9, 5, and 4 already. In the first half, just came to conclusion. So they're down 15. Boston down 15 with a half to play. But yeah, it's looks like Mr. Martin off the bench is another leading scorer with 11 and 3. He might want to get on there and may start a game or two.
Yeah, him and his brother were pretty good in Nevada. I think they made a little run in the NCAAs a couple years ago. But I know we early. We're about a month and we're a month and 2 weeks, so a week and a half away from month and 10 days away from free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you're Boston, do you go ahead and make a move with Jaylen Brown? Because Tatum's not going anywhere. They're not trading Tatum.
You know what? We just, I think if that's a good question because you got disposable pieces now. You got pieces. You could actually move some things around if they decide not to. Like you got Brogdon, and you got White. We talked about, and even though he is a small forward, you still got a lot of pieces to move around. That's a good question. I like Brown, and I think he would do great on another team. I just like the fact that he's sticking with Tatum. I like that combination. But if it makes sense, if it makes dollars and makes sense, and you got to do it if you're Boston. If you can get something great back in return, we hadn't even gotten to the NBA draft yet. So that'll be in what, June? That's before free agency, right? So, I mean, when we get to that, it's no telling. I could see it. I definitely could see it.
I'm gonna bring up. I'm gonna make they call it. Heat is sweeping the Celtics. I'm going to go ahead and say it. The Heat is sweeping the Celtics. I'm gonna put it on out there. I'm gonna put that in the universe. They're gonna sweep them because they don't have any heart this year. Ime Udoka goes back to Ime Udoka. Why trade Brown? He's in the last year of his contract. It's that simple, Corey. He in the last year of the contract. In the last year of his contract, you get draft capital. And your team is deep. I'm pulling up those.
I'm here, Fave. I hear you. I didn't hear what you said. What was the question again? Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. We got the Celtics. They had $175 million this year on salary. If you go to next year, they had $163. But Grant Williams is a free agent this year. Blake Griffin, of course, he was on the player minimum. He didn't get really no burn. Jaylen Brown is in the last year of his contract. He's at $30 million. Malcolm Brogdon, you have him for 2 more years at $22.5 million.
Wow. So
Marcus
that's
Smart, 18, yeah. Robert Williams, who barely plays, he was on the bench half the season, coming off the bench. 11, 12, $13 million for the next 3 years. Danilo Gallinari, keep in mind, he played all year. He tore his knee up during the summer.
So that is your other guy right there. Even though he's 34, he can shoot the cover. When he gets hot, he gets hot. So that would be it. That would be the edge, the actual edge pusher that he would push the envelope as far as wins. They probably get a few more wins if he's not injured. Man, looking at this,
You can afford to trade Jaylen Brown.
you can. You really can. You can afford to trade Jaylen Brown, bring somebody else in on a smaller salary, and still keep the party going. That is crazy. I'm looking at it, and you're gonna have to probably re-sign Grant. No, not Grant Williams. You don't have to re-sign Grant Williams. You don't have to re-sign Blake Griffin. Man, you could if you wanted to. If you let Jaylen Brown go about his business, if you traded him away, you could. But I don't see the service in Blake Griffin. He's long in the tooth his career. You know, a good dunker his first couple of years, but really hadn't really done too much else.
I think when they traded him to Detroit, that destroyed his career. Kevin Byron, friend of the show, friend of mine also. He a Heat fan. Oh, I forgot. I didn't get a chance to tell you congratulations on you and your wife getting married. Congratulations. If you're still watching. Heat fan, but gentleman sweet. And Pat Riley gave the organization an identity. He brought in guys that fit what he wanted. Yeah, a lot of folks don't realize those Lakers team were more than Showtime. They're one of the top 5 defensive teams during that decade.
They had to. You had to start the break some kind of way, and that's what they did. That's how they had Showtime, because they were able to start the break and play defense on one end.
And the other thing, a lot of folks too. I know we're going backwards, but we'll get back to Celtics in a second. A lot of folks don't realize Detroit had one of the best offenses during that decade, also. But they're known for more for their defense and their bad boy persona.
Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer, Rick Mahorn, they made you think that it was nasty. And it was. That was a different type of basketball, though. That's not this basketball. But when you had Joe Dumars shooting the cover off the ball and you got Isaiah running the point like he was running it, they could score too now. They could score.
And that's what a lot of
But they were known as
a score.
Yeah. Yep, that was a good decades. But yeah, looking at this payroll, man, for Boston, they could definitely do that deal and it wouldn't miss a beat. Definitely do that deal and wouldn't miss a beat.
If you Boston, what you do, you trade Jaylen Brown, take some draft picks, and get under that tax. Resign on Grant Williams, because you bring back Peyton Pritchard and Muscala. You bring them back, of course, and like I said, Gallinari, he slides to that 4 for what Mazzulla wants to do. And Al Horford can still stay at the 5, but you have a defensive liability. That's why you have Rob Williams, but he's an offensive liability because he really just he's a roller and a screener, blocker. But you can make the case to trade Jaylen Brown, because he's in his last year. You can make a small case to trade him to say Sacramento or Memphis. They're instant championship contenders if he goes to one of those two teams.
You know what? If you send him to Memphis, Memphis has to send back something. Memphis has to send back something pretty decent too. You have to get
Desmond Bain, probably.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Desmond Bain will have to probably come back off of that team. I'm living here. I'm not sure if they're willing to do that, but if it gives them more viability and he comes in doing his thing, I don't see why you wouldn't do it if you're Memphis.
You can probably give him Desmond Bain and possibly probably Brandon Clark.
That's a little much. That's a little much. No, I think they're not thinking about it. Ever since Brandon Clark, he came in as a rookie and his production has kind of gone down. But yeah, he's a good serviceable athletic player from, I want to say he played at Gonzaga, I want to say. Brandon Clark. Yeah, I think he played at Gonzaga. Yeah, he was a great player. So yeah, I think you could do both of them guys, and it will work out great.
Great, yeah. And then Corey just asked me, who would Sacramento give up? That's the key question right there. You might have to give up Davion Mitchell, Keegan Murray. No, they're gonna try to keep Keegan Murray as much as possible, but I can see Davion Mitchell and Kevin Huerter as some draft picks. I can see that. because Kevin Herter had a bad series since the Golden State. He was not a fit.
Yeah, he kind of should have stayed in. I guess he should have stayed in Atlanta. That's where he was fitting the most. But I think the coaching changes hurt him too. So
I'm not giving up Malik. No, I went because Keegan's more. He's tall. He's a bigger Malik Monk, but he's just younger to me. He's 6'8". Malik Monk about 6'2". So I probably will give up Malik Monk. Also, I think Sacramento needs to be Demonis Sabonis. He's nice and all, but I would need another beat to go with him. I would definitely need to be someone like a Brook Lopez probably.
okay,
They would get Brook Lopez.
okay,
If Sacramento had one move, I'll get Brook Lopez and let Demonis be at the 4. Then you have Keegan Murray. Then you have Harrison Barnes. I believe he's a free agent too, so that's another option. You can do a sign and trade with him to somewhere. But
yeah, I still believe in Harrison Barnes. He got one ring, but he's still a serviceable player. He was before the Splash Brothers got there in Golden State. He was Golden State for a long time. He was the only one that was actually playing well, and they came and kind of overshadowed him. He played his role and got on out of there. So
now KD, when they got KD, that made him out of with that loophole with that salary cap. And I'm thinking, like, man, if it's a finesse play, he ain't a real shot blocker, right? That's why I'm saying you need Brook Lopez. That's why I'm saying you need to get Brook Lopez. Because I'm looking at, Sacramento has some room under the cap. I'm going to go ahead and share their cap situation. I know we're early on salary cap and free agency, but really ain't much to talk about. The Lakers suck. Boston's getting in their own way. So, and we don't talk about hockey. So, what else supposed to do? I think hockey. I'm just saying, we're gonna wait for Shot. He's gonna be running. He's gonna be talking about the Panthers on Tuesday night after they play Monday. This right now, that's Sacramento's salary cap for next year. Harrison Barnes is a true free agent. Terrence Davis didn't get much burn. Alex Lynn, Trey Lyles, Matthew Dellavedova. I could see them re-signing Dellavedova on a vet minimum. Harrison Barnes. It just if you can't get Jaylen Brown, go ahead and re-sign Harrison Barnes to about 2 years, $18 million.
Yeah,
and then Brook. I'll look for Brook Lopez if I'm Sacramento. I'll get Brook Lopez. They need a bid.
Yeah,
so
you know what? Looking at their roster, with the exception of Dellavedova and Harrison Barnes, this team is very young, and I think that if you put Jaylen Brown in there somewhere, I mean, you got a bunch of young dogs, man, that just want to hunt, and that could the potential is there.
If I'm looking at this roster now, Kevin Herter, and I will go ahead and give up. I hate to say this, a bonus possibly for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, that's gonna make Boston better though. It's a bonus on the inside, makes Boston better. That is a nice roster though. I mean, just saying age-wise, that is a nice roster.
Yeah, not too many holes. Just what you want to do with Harrison Barnes. Will you take a discount? I mean, even if you sign him to $18 million, you still can get somebody on the mid-level with, like I said, Brook Lopez. You get maybe I think they re-sign Kevon Looney.
I think they do. I think if they were to get Sabonis in, I think they would do a sign and trade, and then do the package.
Yeah,
the package to Boston, a sign and trade package to Boston for Jaylen Brown. I mean, but you got to put another piece. It looks like you may have to put one more piece with it to make the salaries match. But I mean, outside of that, it looks like that would be good. That would be a good deal.
I won't be surprised to try to talk to New Jersey Nets, see if they can get Cam Johnson off that team. Cam Johnson's
Yeah.
a big.
Athletic big too.
Yeah, 6'10", 6'9", something like that. You can put him beside Sabonis, but I still think Brook Lopez is the more viable option for that team.
Mm-hmm.
He could play fast paced offense because he played with Giannis.
Yeah,
And I don't know if I'm. We'll talk about the Bucks best option. We don't know. Mark Jackson probably should get the job. That's just me. If I'm the Bucks, I would go Mark Jackson, and karma comes back around. That ready-made team is for him to win. And really, I'll tell Giannis, you need to be. I don't care about no grease. You need to be in the gym. You need to make 500 shots a day, all the way up to camp.
Yep.
All right, that's our NBA tape. Brooms are coming out. Brooms coming out this week. Teams are gonna get about a week of rest. Somebody saw a meme online today. Somebody said if Denver and Miami make the finals, it's gonna be on Tubi. Oh, that's cold blooded.
That's cold blooded. Cold blooded.
Hey, one last. Let's. We don't talk about it much on the show. We talk about when we can. I want to talk about a little baseball. Don't understand, but what's your takeaway so far this season? Just what have you seen this year as far as? I know y'all Braves fans, you know.
Yeah, I have not watched a lot of baseball this year. I work a lot, but yeah, that seems to be let me pull up some stats here so I don't sound silly.
Yeah, Tampa Bay right now. Tampa Bay is leading the division. Baltimore second in AL East. Minnesota's first with Detroit second. Texas is first. Houston's right there behind them. I think because Dusty Baker, I think open the floodgates. I think they're gonna win it again this year because of GP.
Braves that would be a good thing. Dusty winning another one to show that the first one wasn't a fluke and he wasn't handed anything.
Yeah, the Braves are leading by 5 games over the Mets. Mets are playing tonight against the Guardians. They were losing 1-0 when before I changed the channel. Milwaukee's leading the division. That's one of the best below market teams, but they're not gonna do anything. Pittsburgh has been a darling story, but they lost like 9 of 13. And the Dodgers, they were struggling, but now they've hit their stride right now. I think they're up by a game and a half over Arizona. And
they lost today though. They did lose today 10 to the Cardinals 10-5. But
Cardinals only played on tough.
Yeah, the Cardinals are one of those teams. They play everybody tough until it's time to actually do something.
San Diego 21-26 with that $300 million payroll, but that's neither here nor there.
Then they had what's my guy last year? They ended up getting suspended for the rest of the season.
Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, Mr. Dairy Queen. Mr. Dairy Queen. I hope that works out for you, Tatis.
Yeah, he came back a couple weeks ago. Their lineup is a beast of a lineup, but pitching always trumps hitting.
They actually won today. Speaking of the Padres, they actually won and they beat the Red Sox. So it's possible. Now, Faye, speaking of baseball, so say 30 years ago, some of these matchups don't happen. Meaning that you're looking at AL versus NL and it used to be a thing. They used to have, this interleague play. It's interleague play weekend. Now it's like everybody play everybody.
Yeah, because the way each conference or league is at 15 teams.
Okay.
That's why. When they balanced out the divisions to have 5 teams per division, that's what happened. When they moved Houston back over to the AL West, which makes absolutely no sense because they're in the middle of the country. Just like remember back in the day when the Braves were in the NL West
and the Falcons were in the NFC West. Yep.
You literally on the east coast of Well, right now, I think right now we could just say no. Oh, shots, Marlin. Florida's having a renaissance of sports right now. Miami almost made it to the Final Four. The
Yep.
Panthers are in the conference final. The Heat in the
Yep.
conference final.
Yep.
The Dolphins are trying to do a little something.
On the
Shot is
ride.
having a great year.
The grown man Shot having a great year. That's a good thing. That is a good thing.
I don't think Georgia got the Bulldogs.
That's all right though, because we're gonna have that number one recruiting class. In case y'all missed it, signed the number one quarterback over the last week. Big thing. Thanks for the information, Anatoly. And I mean, I read a stat today where it's just looking like outside of we got some of the best talent, and that's what 2 national championships will do for you. That's what it'll do for you. You get some of the best talent that may have been, they can come to us first and see if we got room, basically. Some of the best talent in the nation. And this is during the era of the transfer portal. So still some of the best talent in the nation.
Man, we cooking tonight. We about done, right? What the world going on? We about to get your party shot on.
Man. I'm trying to let me get a good one here. Oh yeah, so it's that season once again, ladies and gentlemen. It is graduation season. My son, Miles Anderson, will be graduating high school on Tuesday. Big achievement for me because of everything that he's gone through the last 2 years with me and our family and his mom and me. But anyway, hey, congratulations to all the graduates. Enjoy this moment. But if you're going from high school to college, your journey, you got 4 more years, 4 to 5 more years. Buckle down, get it done. And then, hey, always remember this, graduates. No matter if you're graduating, going to college or graduating from college, make sure you get the job that when you roll out of bed in the morning, you say, man, I get to go to work. Not, dog, I got to go to work.
Yeah, I need to find out what that feeling is right now. What that feel like? Oh, I got to go to work today. It's a difference, y'all. Damn, I get to go to work today. Damn, I got to go to work today. See how the same words and the inflection different. Don't rush that. Don't rush that. I don't really have a party shot. I thought I had one, but I just had it in my head, but I'm not. I forgot it already. Just that quick. But just know that we have graduation hitting this week. Like Ryan said, hey, make sure you pick the right college.
There you go.
And go damn Dogs. I'm not a dog fan. Oh, I got it. Yeah. Y'all remember last year when Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher got into it?
Yeah.
Talk about he done bought all those players. He wasn't talking to Jimbo Fisher. He was talking to his boosters. He's talking to his administrator saying, we're going to get left behind if we don't get on this train right here. You could see that this year. Those 2 losses they got by 1 point, if they had some receivers that were worth a hill of beans that they had last year, they would only have 1 loss. I think the 1 loss probably would have been with LSU. But if they would have went ahead and did everything else like everybody else doing NIL, Alabama would have made more noise this year. I'm not saying that because I like Alabama. Georgia deserves everything they got, but Alabama needs to catch up with the times. Just like in 1971, where they saw all those black players at USC, and like that means to say, I better give me some of these.
You gotta get me some of these.
Yeah, what y'all better do with the NIL, better get you some of them. All right, that's our show for the evening. Hopefully, we will be on time on Wednesday. I will let y'all know before we go on, and we hope to see you on Wednesday night. We out.